Could this be the answer to the Fardriver controller setup? So when I received my Fardriver, what came with the kit, when I went to plug it all in, there was female to female cables on here. Then I would have to connect separately to the power to run my display screen. It was a lot of different wiring and everything else. Well, it's not a problem, but I've seen videos online where they've been saying, how do I connect this? Or they're trying to explain to you, you've got to connect this to this or this or this, and you have to keep changing the plugs and keep changing the ends to everything. So I had a word with one of my guys, and we've had a cable made. This is the first time me trying it. So let's see if we can turn the Fardriver into a click and play. Let's go. Right. So what came with it? We have our key switch. And we have what hopefully will work. Either side. So we have he's even tagged it up, our controller side. So we've had this made specially. And we've had our part side. So this should all now collect. This should be everything what's on the wiring loom for the Fardriver. And it should be all the parts I need on this side to connect. So let's give it a go. Right. Right, let's start connecting. Right, I was going to connect all the phase wires and everything first, but I've had a couple of messages asking me to show how to connect other kits. And they were simple plug and play ones. But, so I thought, obviously, you probably already know, but I'll show it anyway. So, coming off the hub, the main cable, we have the phase wires, and we have the hub wires. So what we do, and this will be the same with any hub motor, it's always yellow, green and blue, or it should be. So all we do, with the phase wire, we go straight, we unscrew off of the controller. This is the ND72450 Fardriver. We unscrew, and then all we do, we put the tabs on, we pull it in, and we screw in. So that's the yellow in. You've got the yellow tab, and you've got the yellow wire cable, whatever. Done. So that one's done. So then we've got the green here. Any guessing? I think who's ever watching this, where do you think the green one goes? Exactly. So green into green, like so. I'll say like so. It's going to be a little bit harder to get in when you've got the cables twisted a bit, because obviously they're quite rigid. Was a good thing, because obviously you don't want to be bending all your cables out of line. Just put a bit of pressure on the bottom bit. All done, so that's in. So we just screw that one in, all the way in, and we're in. And then obviously blue, we'll unscrew that. Blue to blue. Obviously, the more you put them in, the bit higher. There we go. That one's in. So we'll screw that into place. Right, so we're in. And if any of you are wondering, because I've already done it, this just goes on top of there. This will cover it, and you undo it. 2 screws, you take that out, and then you unearth that. Right, this is the battery cable. So we have a positive and a negative. So, sorry, negative and positive. So once again, black to black, negative to negative. Always do this without it plugged in. I know that might sound stupid, but to people, but if you watched one of my videos of unboxing the battery, I was so excited. I tried plugging it in while it was in my hand, and the 2 ends were touching, and we had a bit of a bang. And it was lucky it's a good battery. We didn't blow up, or we didn't break the battery. It was good. Right, with the positive, I'm not going to screw it in straight away, because if we have anything else power related, coming off of the controller cable is going to be going into positive. So we're going to leave that for the minute. So that's there. Right. So this is the cable we've had designed. Hoping it's good, because that's why we've had it designed, to make life so much easier. So if you have a look here, we have two controllers. So this is going to be all the connectors going into the loom. This side, we have spare parts. So this is going to be your throttle, your screen, everything else. So we're going to keep them separate like this. I'm going to put the part one over to the side, and we're going to keep the wiring loom side there. The only added thing is our power switch. This is where, if you didn't have this set up, you would have to make your own cables to go into the battery, everything else, but this comes with it, so that's all done. Right, so let's do this first while we're here. Obviously, not all cable wires are going to look the same colours at either end. You might have to use your initiative a little bit, but it's fairly simple. And also, always look into the end. Look how many pins it's got. How many pins are on the other side. And you can sort of marry them up. This has been trying to make dumb-proof, basically, because it can be tricky wiring these up. So this is trying to dumb it down a bit. Right, I'll put diagrams up on the screen anyway to show you either side, part side, controller side. I'm going to start with the controller side. Right. So the switch. We'll do the switch in a minute, actually. So what we're going to start with, we're going to start with the high and low switch. So on your throttle, you have your 1, 2, and 3. That'd be your high and low switch. You have 3 different switches. So on here, your high and low switch, and you normally know as well, because they normally put a black cable going in itself on a connector with it. That's basically, so you could plug that in like this, and that would just leave you on top speed. So then, other than that, you have that's your free speed cable. So we look on here. So do we have anything what looks the same? We do, and it's the only black end connector. So we have a yellow, black, blue. So we're going to go straight in. So that one's done. Right. What else? We're going to go. So this is obviously your hub motor cable. So on your actual hub motor, you always have your hub. This is the only connector you might have to change. So I'm going to have to change this when I put on my other hub motor, because all hub motors, depending on the manufacturer, will come with a different hub. But the beauty with these cables, and I'll show you now, is so basically when we change our hub cable, you can either buy it like this, so we have it already wired. So all we do, snip off the ends there, snip off the ends there, and we'll strip the cable off a little bit. We can solder it, put a bit of tape around it, and we've got the new connector we want. So you could buy it like this. I will probably use one of these ones, or a bit more sturdy in place. These are more like car clips. I've got another one for the mail, what goes in. Or you could buy them in kits like these, where you have all the tabs, and you can basically, when you snip it off, you can just put a metal tab on, pop them inside, how many you need, put them together. Same with them sort of motors. So it's done. It's not easy, it's not hard. And if it's only one thing you have to wire, it makes it so much easier. So, but we're lucky on this one. We've got the same connector. So here we go. The hub connected. There we go. So what point are we up to? So we've got a free speed in. We've got a hub in. So far, this cable has been brilliant. So far, I'll say. Here we go. So what we're going to do now, your orange cable, that's your power line for your power switch. Right, so this is where the beauty of this comes in. Right. So on the power tab, on your positive, you remember I said I'm not going to put it in yet, because we have our ring connector here. We're going to put in, first we're going to put our battery cable in. Like so. Let's get it through everything. Bam, bam, bam. So, easily done. obviously when you muck about with loads of cables. Put our ring connector on top, or ring terminal, which might be more of the professional name, I think. So we put that on top, we plug that in. So now we've got power going to the switch. So there's our switch cable. This is the one where it don't come with the same colours, but because we know that's for the power for the switch, and we know we need a power line, we know it's the orange one. So, beauty of it, look, we've got tabs up here. We've got the display lock, we've got controller lock. So we know that orange one, what's our power line, it's going to go into our controller lock. Bang, straight in. How easy was that? So we know we didn't have to wire that all up ourselves. It's already done. So we've got that in place. Right. We're going to move on. We're going to keep moving. So now, on every bike I've done, every foot I've done, the throttle's always black, green, red. So we have black, green, red here. So we have a look on our little cable. And look, funny enough, black, green, red, clip, straight in. So we're done. We're going well. We're getting through this. Right. The red ones on here normally means, I think it's to do with like sort of brake or lights and stuff like that. So we're going to put the red ones aside a minute. And we know we've got no red connectors on here. So we'll put them, they don't obviously mean that all the time, but we'll put that aside. And all we do now is we'll start looking at just colours. So we've got two single greys here. Single grey on this is meant to be a high brake. So I'm not overly knowing what everything is, but grey and grey, done. Right, what else we got? So we have a black, green and half yellow. Black, green and half yellow. That is low brake, apparently. We have a look on here. Do we have the same? We do. There we go. So we go straight in with this. So we're in with that. That one's done. Right, what else we got left? We got it's like a brown and a blue and a red. So we have a look on here. Blue, brown and a red. And on here, a blue, brown and a red. You've got it in front of you as well. Is blue, brown, red. My eyes are going a bit, but I think it's that bottom one. Reversing, I think. I think it is, but we're not going to have that. But we plug it in. Muddy have them plugged in so they're not in the way. So, did I find the blue now? Let's get. That's the problem, is it all blare into one in your eyes, doesn't it? There we go. That one. Same colour on that one. So we just plug it in. Then it's done. It's out of the way. Another cable done out of the way. Right. Look through here. What we've got left? We've got the brown / grey and black. Black's brown, grey and black on this one is. No, that's your reversing. Right. Whatever. Don't really matter. It's plugged in. It's done. Right. And then we have our power line. And where do you think our power line goes? So one side's gone that side. And what did it say on this side? Display line. Now all of a sudden, we've created our loop for the power for the switch. As easy as that. All done. The only cable I have left this side is our yellow and orange. On here, yellow and orange is cam portal, I think, something like that. But if you have a look on here, they haven't even bothered putting a connector on it. So I'm guessing it's not overly important. So we're all connected that side now. As easy as that. Oh, I say it's easy, but hopefully it works. But that's all connected. So we didn't have to wire anything in. It's all done. Female to female, female to male, male to female. I know we live in a equal opportunities world now, but obviously our females are not going into females, males are not going. It's not going to work. So we've got that all sorted out. That's all done. Right. Now what we do, we come over to our part side. So this one where I think we've got to sort of look round. It's not always going to be the same, but we'll see how easy it is. So the first one I can see is our red, black and green. And like I said, 9 times out of 10, that's your throttle cable. And clear as anything, there's our throttle. There's our throttle cable. It's there. So that's our parts. So we're going to go straight in with that. Oh, it'll try and escape. There we go. Right, on this one, we know it's our three speed switch, because this is completely different for the minute, but we know that just because it's coming off of our throttle and we've got a switch. But the free speed switch on our nectar, if you remember, was the blue, the black, the yellow. If you're ever unsure, you look back over to your loom and you see where it was. So you remember I said the blue one was for our 3-speed. So yeah, they're different colours, but that's what I said about we use our initiative. We know that's our 3-speed. So we know that's going to go in there. So that, I'm not too sure, I think this is to do with horns, lights, reverse and all that. So we don't actually need that for the minute. So that's our throttle connected now. Our throttle's all connected. Right, this is the bit on the other one when you don't have the cable. You've got to start connecting different power lines and different connectors for your display. So, we look on our display. That one's got an orange sticker on. They put an orange sticker. So they obviously knew that was a different colour. But if you look, you have the orange. It's the only one with the orange going through and the orange going through there. So I think we would have worked that out anyway, wouldn't we? And then we could always look inside, see if it connects. Hopefully I've done that right, but I believe that's correct. So that's done. Right. And then we've got our next cable. So we look on here, and where are we? The way I would do this one, because obviously the cables on there are a bit different, because you don't always know what display you're going to use, so you don't know if it's going to marry up with the right colours. So we're going to have a little look. So what have we got left? This is our wiring loom. On our wiring loom, we've got a grey, we've got a yellow, and a orange, a blue and a black, and a brown and a black. That's what we've got left. And we've got to find out what one is going to go in our green and our orange. My guessing, looking inside there, this is what I'm saying about using your initiative. They line up perfectly. So you have the top right, depending on what way you're looking, top left and middle. There's only two pins in there, and they're both in the same place. These 2 pins go. So that's what we call using our initiative. And we're in. So that's our display connected. Right. So we've got our blue and our black left over. So our blue and our black would be on here. It says I think it's to do with blue and black. That's controller side. See, you have it in front of me. In front of you, I don't. So basically, I think this is to do with light. Like these are, we can insert lights if we had a step down and stuff. So, but the main 2 things I was connecting was our throttle and our display. So, if this worked, then this cable is good. So we go. So what we're going to do, we're going to connect the battery now. There we go. So we connect. I hate this bit. There we go. Connected. So that's done. This is the moment of truth. We're going to do our switch. There we go. Light on. Right, lights on. The controller's only bleep once, and that means it's connected. If you ever connect this and then you go on your Fardriver app, I'll show you now, and it comes up with an error 7. I couldn't find this online for some reason. I only could find throttle errors and stuff, but number 7, it says there's a motor error, but a lot of the time it's down to your setting on your temperature. So on there you have like a temperature sensor. Stick that to none. And if you stick that to none, fingers crossed, that should get rid of the error. Right, so I haven't done the throttle yet. What I'm going to do, I'm going to bring it back so we can see it together. There we go. So obviously on here we have our battery fully charged. This is to do obviously our revs. That's our trip. It's in kilometers at the minute, but we have drive on. Let's have a look. Let me get the throttle. I don't want to knock everything off and never knowing if it actually ever did work. So Obviously we don't want cables hanging around, but we're only testing it. Let's give this a chance. Will it work? Look at that. Right, put it away. So, looking at that cable is perfect. I didn't have to wire anything up. I didn't have to change any connectors. I didn't have to add the lock switch on, so we've got our key lock on there, and didn't have to change, because a lot of the time they both come with female ends, and then you've got to change your connect. That was already done. You've got your key switch ready in there. So to be fair, I think we have now just made a Fardriver click and play. It's a click and play cable now. It's done. It's completed. We're all done. I can't believe it was that easy, and it worked. If anyone's wondering, this is obviously in the other video. This is the 72 volt 205 what is it, 5,000 watt hub motor. This originally was going to go on this, but as you can see, with the tyre, I ordered the wrong size. With the tyre, it would rub, so it'd be no good. I have now got a hub motor, but it's only a 3,500 for this, so it still kicks 72 volt. Well, I will put a video up. But yeah, thank you for watching. Please subscribe, please like, please share. My subscribers are slowly coming up. I am getting a lot of views, but it's free to do, and it would help my channel out. I'm trying to bring more and more content. I'd like to build it, so if you could subscribe and like, that'd be great. Any comments if you want to know about the cables, because I am now, I've checked it all out. I'm going to get some made up. I'm going and start getting them out there as well. So yeah, thank you for watching, and more videos are coming. Cheers.